I've been asked to say a few words about the gift of discernment, probably because it has played an important part in my life, and I love to share it. When I was a young girl, my mother told me that I was too emotional. She said, "Don't wear your heart on your sleeve. You should always be strong and intelligent. Never let anyone push you around, and always be in control. And by the way, you should still always care about people." That was in the 1960s. And even though some people still operate in that social construct, we know that actually it is a recipe for disaster. What is a young girl born in the 50s living through the 60s and 70s supposed to do with such instruction? My first challenge was to come to the understanding that these so-called weaknesses that my mother so often pointed out in me did not make me a bad person. Because that's how I felt for many years, some actually 30 to 35 years. And after working through all of that, thankfully, I was able to actually think differently about what she said. And I could dare ask myself, what does it mean to be in control? What does it mean to be strong and intelligent? What does it mean to be compassionate? Thankfully, the wisdom of E. Cummings was also already a part of the universe, because he said, it takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. To be sure, becoming who you really are is a lifelong journey. We can't deny that. But it is a journey that begins with knowing yourself, understanding and embracing the traits and gifts you have been gifted, and figuring out how that directs you into a life of authenticity and integrity. I think sometimes my life has just been way too heady, don't you? Thankfully, though, along the way, I have learned to rely on this gift called discernment. Through discernment, I learned that I can appreciate my own thoughts, my unique way of seeing the world, and my unique response to all of creation. And I learned that one of the strengths of living a life of discernment is that I can listen to others and not give their words power over me, and conversely, that I don't also think it's my job to change them. Instead, I can hear them with compassion, see them fully, honor their stories, and love them for who they are. Turning to a life of discernment has gifted me with the wisdom to identify and let go of competing voices. Those competing voices which actually tend to move us away from that sacred center, that inherent wisdom that we all were born with. The hard work of discernment clarifies motives, but it also brings peace. It offers us a sense that we are a part of the unfolding of the universe, that we have a role to play, that we have a call to respond to, that we have something to share with the world around us, that our voice matters, that our unique way of seeing will inspire someone else, that there are people who need our unconditional love, that our participation in the healing of the world is needed urgently, that we probably have an urgency within us that we have left unidentified. Right? You know that thought, right? But I'm just going to give you an extra moment of silence to let that urgency surface. And I would like for you to give it a name if you can. My dear friends, I hope in the near future you will find a way to give yourself to that urgency. And if you decide to, that you will come and see us at Companis, because we need you. Before I go, I'd like to share a poem with you by David White, and it's called Just Beyond Yourself. Just beyond yourself, it's where you need to be. Half a step into self-forgetting and the rest restored by what you will meet. There is a road always beckoning. When you see the two sides of it closing together at that far horizon and deep in the foundations of your own heart at exactly the same time, that's how you know it's the road you have to follow. That's how you know it's where you have to go. That's how you know you have to go. That's how you know. Just beyond yourself, it's where you need to be. Blessings to each of you, my friends.